Hi guys, welcome to the session. In this session, I'm going to share you some of the interview questions as part of Oracle DBA interview. These interview questions will help you for these questions will come for 2 years experience or 3 years experience or 6 years experience also. Okay, these are all the generic questions. These questions will ask you even though you are going with 2 years experience also they will ask you these questions. Okay, these are all. There is a possibility to ask you, okay, but it is not mandatory to ask them. Okay, just you can go with these questions, it will help you, and also you can read more on the experience level you have. Okay, so first question is can you explain the difference between hard backup and cold backups in Oracle? So we have a backup and recovery scenarios, right? We used to have different kinds of backups. We can go with cold, hard, admin backups, and these cold and hard backups we call it as a physical backups. And we have a logical backups also, export and import data from. So those are different things. But here I'm going to explain you the difference between hard and cold. Okay, hard backups when we are going to take when the database is up and running, we are going to take the backup. Then how we are going to take the backup? That is physically the way how we are going to take the cold backup in a OS level, copy by using the copy CP command. The same way we are going to the hard backup. But the thing is that the database is in archive log mode. Database should be in archive log mode, and you have to put your database in begin backup mode. Then we are going to copy the files from OS level. So hard backup we are going to take and the database is up and running. And cold backup, we have to shut down the database and we need to copy the cold and hard backup procedure is same. If you want to see it, I'll show you. If I want to see take the cold backup, okay, let me check where is my data files. Okay, I have my data files in this location. Clear. Let's say here. See, these are all my data files, system sysocs amplified. If I want to take a cold backup, okay, I have to shut down my database. As of now, my database is up and running. Okay, how we are going to check S1 or P1, any one of the background process. The background process should be with var underscore background process and SID should be shown. Then only the database instance is up and running. So if I want to take, I have to copy this one, copy to underscore backup or old, any one of that. You can copy to the same location or different location or any other location by using this command. Okay, in this way we are going to take even hard backup also we are going to take the same command, same copy command, but the database is up and running. In cold backup the database is shut it down. That's it guys for this explanation. Okay, these are the things. If you want you can go through this theoretical part. Okay, next question is how do you monitor and optimize the database performance in Oracle? Simple guys. These are two questions they mixed up, and then they are going to ask you in this way. If they want to ask you using individually, how you are going to monitor your database. Okay, how you are going to achieve the performance, like how you are going to improve your database performance. In this way also they can ask. Sometimes they will mix or club the multiple questions into single questions like this. How do you monitor and optimize the database performance? For this one, this will 2 to 3 years experience guys. They can say for monitoring purpose, but they don't know how to optimize the database performance. Okay, for experienced guys, they have to get this knowledge how to optimize it. So for the database monitoring, we used to use shell scripts. By using the shell scripts, cron job, we can monitor our databases, and also manually we are going to do the manual checks. Like now I'm going to check df-kh. I checked all the mount points is fine, and if I want to check the table spaces, and I can use the select query to check my table space size. That is a manual one. The same manual commands if I can write in a shell script, there I can able to monitor it. So that way also we can do. Another thing is we have OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager, licensed one. If the client is having the license for OEM, we have to install the OEM and then we need to configure our database target with OEM. This OEM, from this OEM, we can monitor the table spaces, mount points, any alert log errors, everything we can able to monitor it by using the OEM. So this is a monitoring guys. Monitoring will do 3 ways. You can do manually, shell scripts or OEM. Any one of that approach, we are going to monitor it. Optimizing means by using, I mean, how we are going to optimize. You have to identify that issues, right? Then only we are going to improve it. And also, without identifying or without waiting for that issue has been reported, we have to go with certain kind of standard documents, Oracle documents. We have to go through that Oracle standard documents and how many users you are having, how much data size you are having, okay, how many archives are generating per day. All these things you have to calculate it, and then you can uh, implement the memory structure, CPUs, how many CPUs you required. And if it is queries, the queries are it depends, guys. Only DBA can't do these optimizations of these things. DBA can monitor it and he can take a decision, but the queries and all will written by the developers and some other application users, right? They have to have an idea how the query should be quicker, how the query should pick the good execution plans and all, right? They have to write in a good manner, proper indexes and hints. They have to add it. That is their duty. Even though Oracle DBA, we can do if you have an expertise, but the query writing and all, DBA not going to write any queries, right? The developers and application team is going to write the queries. So we have certain kind of tools to identify the bottlenecks of the database performance and mainly AWR report, automatic workload repository, and ADDM is there, automatic diagnostic monitors, and these tools ASH also there, okay, active session history thing, and SQLT also there. A lot of tools we are having. By using those, we can identify the bottlenecks of the performance database things, and then we can take the decision according to that reports and ADDM suggestions we are going to take, and then we can implement it. So that we can improve our database performance. Okay. What these tools will take care, right? I told you, right? These will gives you how the execution plans, SQL execution, optimizing the queries, and tune the database parameters. How we are going to tune based upon the recommendations, based upon the issues which you have reported in AWR report, other reporting tools. We can optimize it so many ways, guys. It is not simple question, but we have to have answer this question with our experience. And second question, backup and recovery. Backup and recovery, we have explain the steps you would take to recover a lost table in an Oracle. If one table is lost, suppose we have n number of tables in, not the table space here, it's a table. If one table, one object it is, okay, one object or table is lost, how we are going to recover? So guys, in that scenario, right, we have to identify it. We should, that's where we have to take the proper backups on our environment. Okay, once we have a backup, we whether we have a proper backup is there or not, how we are going to validate it? First, we need to validate the backup. I can say validate the backup. Then how we are going to validate it? To validate it, you have to use RMAN. Go ahead to connect the RMAN tool and validate the backup. Here we used to get that. Connect with RMAN target. Then here, if you have any backup is there or not, first we need to checklist backup SUMMARY summary. So we have the backup. Then validate it. Validate backup. Let me take the command. Okay, validate the backup. Control F. Validate. That's it. Validate database backups and where it is. I'll get this. Okay. Validate. Control Z. Control F. Validate. List backup. No problem. I'll get it. Where it is. Backup and recovery 90. So control F. Validate. Here, validate database. So this will validate your backups, guys. So complete CDB, PDB level, everything it will validate. If any issues, if any corruptions is there, it will show you status is okay, means okay. Okay. In this way, we have to validate done. Validation is done. Once that backup is valid, then we have to use that backup, and then we can restore and recover that specific table space. And if you don't have a validated things, okay, we can use the flashback technology. If FRA is enabled on your database, by using that also we can able to do that as well. Also, we have an archive redo logs. Archive log mode is enabled. That is another approach. So for this question, how you're going to answer is, we have to validate the backup. If you don't have a valid backup in the RMAN catalog or RMAN repository, then we can FRA is enabled, then by using that also. So possibilities. And also we need to explain the steps also. Okay, first we are going to shut down the database, start up the mount, restore the control file, and then start up mount. Then there we are going to recover the last table, recover the table. Then we need to if it is restore the table and then recover it. If it is recovery is required, then only we need to do it. Then we need to start the database in archive log mode. Alter reset log mode, and then open the database in reset log mode. In that way we have to explain step by step. The next question is what is RMAN and how do you use it for backup and recovery? So we need to explain the RMAN thing. Okay, explain the RMAN, recovery manager, what is this and all. Okay, and then RMAN is a backup utility or recovery manager tool. We can use this recovery manager utility or Oracle utility to backup your backup and recovery we can perform in our Oracle databases. Okay, and also you can, if you want to say that by using this RMAN will help us to take the backups and restores, and or else managing the backups and recoveries in our database, we can use the RMAN. In this way also we can say. In RMAN, by using this RMAN, okay, how do you use it for backup and recovery? They're saying, how do you use? We can use this RMAN to take a full backups, incremental backups, and to recover. If as and when it is required, we have to restore and recover is required. We can use this RMAN. That is fine. How then they will ask you, right? And again, if they want to give the scenario, then you have to answer it back. The next question, how do you grant or revoke a privileges in Oracle? User management, okay, security management question. How do you grant? Okay, how we are going to grant? By using the grant command, we are going to assign that privilege, grant, select privilege, update privilege, revoke privilege, those by using this. Revoke is different thing, okay? Grant privileges, and revoke is to remove the privilege, whatever the select privilege, okay? If you want to give a select privilege to user on specific table, we have to use the grant one. And if you don't want to give the select privilege, you already given, you want to revoke or remove the privilege from that user. By using revoke command, we can do that. So the same things, right? Revoke. By using the grant command, we are going to provide the privilege. By using the revoke command, we are going to revoke the privilege. See here, grant select on table name to that user. If you want to revoke select on table name from that user. So whatever username we are going to mention, that user, we are going to revoke that privileges. That's it. Next, explain the database authentication methods. Okay, in database, right, we have multiple authentication options, especially for applications, single sign-on applications, where you are going to use LDAP tool, lightweight directory access protocol, the application with LDAP tools, or Active Directory, AD, this is a Microsoft product. Or in OS level, SSL level or TLS based authentication. SSL is secure socket layer, and TLS based authentications, OS level authentications. These are all different methods of Oracle databases going to use these authentication methods. Okay, this will, why we need this means authorized people should access your database. Then if you want to implement that kind of authorizations and all, you need these methods. If you want to go with SSL or TLS based, that is secure one. And then if you want to go with LDAP or AD, Active Directories, That is another way we can go ahead and integrate your users with these protocols. So SSL and TLS, LDAP and Active Directory are the database authentication methods. Okay, these are all the methods. Then DR question, what is the data guard in Oracle? And how does it ensure high availability and disaster recovery? For this, it's a if you want to answer it one line or two lines, you can answer it. Or if you want to elaborate more, then you can elaborate it more. If you are reading more knowledge on the data guard side, you can elaborate it. Okay. For the what is data guard means? Data guard is used for high availability and disaster recovery purpose. Like if you have a database in your primary production, this is your production database. If anything goes wrong or certain user issues or network issues, uptakes, or suddenly data gas has been data what I can say, the servers has been crashed, data center has been crashed, this data will be lost, right? So whatever the users are connected to this data, that users will be automatically unable to access this data because of this has been crashed. To save this data, we have to replicate or sync this database similarly with different location. This you can put in India and this you can put in USA, but not recommended to keep DR in different this much of zone. Why? Because the network latency will be there. US and India, heavy distance, right? If you want to maintain the same location within India, you can maintain this one in HYD and this you can mention Bangalore. That is okay. Now network is bit better within a country, right? That is fine. If anything goes wrong in the data center in this server, the data which is there in every second, every committed transaction, every transaction is going to sync with this one. Whatever the transactions are coming to this database, it is going to sync with this standby database. Standby, okay? This will sync. If anything goes wrong here, this will act as a primary. For this concept, we call it as a data guard concept. Data guard, it is going to save the data. High availability means that's where, right? If anything goes wrong here, obviously this will available. That's high available. Okay. Automatic failures, data production, switchover capabilities. All these things will be taken care by the data guard. These are all the functionalities of data guard. You can explain these things. Okay. Individual, what is switchover, what is failover, that is different scenario. We will take it different question as well later on. For this question, this is enough. How do you perform switchover and failover? See, this is a continuous question for that. Switchover and failover, how we are going to plan. Here it is, no? My primary is this one, and this is standby. Okay. Failover and switchover. Anything goes fail on here, how you are going to make it? Switchover, how you want to switch from here to here. Primary to standby, standby to primary. So switchover is a planned activity. Failover is unplanned activity. Switchover, if you want to switch manually, we need to do it. So our intentionally we are doing switchover activity. That is called planned activity. If you want to shut down this database and start up this and make it up, and then you make it this one as a primary. That is switchover activity manually. Failover is unplanned. Something happened suddenly and our database primary has been shut it down. Automatically the standby should act as a primary. How we are going to configure is the failover concept. So failover is unplanned activity. Okay. This we can able to use DGMGRL is a tool. Okay. Data guard broker. This we call by using this command. If you have a data guard broker setup, DGMGRL command line interface, we can manage the switchover and failover activities by using this tool. Okay. Simple thing. Switchover and failover difference is this is the planned one, this is unplanned one. By using DGMGRL command, we are going to maintain this. You can read the commands, some of the commands, how you can switch over, how you can fail over. That is different. And next one is performance tuning related. How do you identify and resolve the performance bottlenecks in your Oracle database? How you are going to identify and resolve? Okay, as this is for experienced guys, more than 3+ or 4+ experience. This question you will get it in most of the interviews. Okay, we can identify the problems using OEM, Oracle Enterprise Manager, or we can identify the problem. Some users will be reported directly In that way also we will get that. Or else you can monitor the AWR report if the database performance is slow. We have to monitor the AWR report, and that's where, right, daily we need to do the health checks and the production. We need to identify all the functionalities are working properly or not, how the load is there, how the database is reacting, it is quick or not. So by using the top command also we can identify the performance. Okay, that is OS level we can use it. If performance is not good, then how we are going to resolve? By using AWR report or some other SQLT. So many tools are there. Generally most of the environments we can use OEM or AWR reports. Okay, and then we can analyze that AWR report if any execution plans are there, long running jobs is there or not, any blockings is there, logs is there or not. And then we need to monitor the SGA size, complete SGA component, shared pool, cat buffer cache, redo log things, everything we need to monitor. If anything less size is there and the resource is completely 90%, 100% utilized, then we need to take a call. We need to increase the SGR, we need to increase the shared pool, we need to increase the buffer cache or what other parameters. If any execution plan is not good, the query is running longer time, that also we need to identify. So everything we can use OEM or AWR reports, we can go through it and we can identify it, then we can resolve those things. Explain the next question is explain the concept of partitioning Oracle database and what is the importance or advantages of partitioning. Okay, partitioning is very important one for core databases, for core Oracle database architecture level, those who are using. And also partitionings are done by the warehousing related analytics databases. If is there we are going to use it in live or transactional databases. Some of the transactional databases will be there we are not going to use the partitioning concept, that is different. But for this question answer is partitioning is a feature to allow the Oracle large tables and indexes to subdivide into smaller one. Like if you have a huge data in our table space, but most of the users are accessing only smaller part. If you have this much of 10 TB, one size of this one is there, or I don't think so 10 TB, 1 TB we can take 1 TB information of this table is there, 1 terabyte is taken. If you want to partition 1 terabyte into 10 parts, create a partition on this table. Okay, individual partitions. If you try to access that specific part by using that partition name, we can easily fetch that information. So it won't go for remaining information, it will go directly to the specific information which we have created and how we are going to manage it. Okay, that way we are going to take it. Okay, partitioning is a feature in Oracle that allows large tables and indexes to subdivide it into smaller or more manageable pieces. The small pieces, we call it as the managed pieces, we call it as partition. Okay, it is having own storage characteristics and all. It will improve the performance. Partitioning, if you are doing the partitioning, means it will improve the performance. Why? Because it will quickly access. It won't go for full table scan and other scans and all. Okay, if you want to maintain, to take the backups and recovery also by using this partitioning, we can able to. These are advantages. Okay, partitioning definition. First, explain the partitioning. Partitioning is a feature that allows to large tables and indexes to divide it into smaller parts. And advantages are you can improve the performance of the queries by using the partitioning. It will help you to take the managing the data management and the data availability and reliability things. This will be facilitated. These are the advantages of this partitioning. We have a lot of information in the partitioning index scan or different types of partitionings also there. That is a huge concept. As part of this interview question, you can answer. This answer is sufficient. Okay. Thank you guys. In our next video, I'm going to show you another kind of set of questions which we may get. Okay. Thank you.